I have been vision boarding for 3 years and it has never worked out for me. Now, before you come at me, I just want to explain it simply. I also believed that vision boarding is as simple as just finding pictures on Pinterest and just pinning it in your board or making it your wallpaper and constantly looking at it. I mean, I've always seen a bunch of creators doing that kind of routine. I don't want to call names here because, well, I'm trying to make you guys see the reality here. They would wake up every single day and they would go straight to their vision boards and they would just brush their teeth and look at it and just picture themselves in that picture doing what they want. And that's exactly the same thing I did. I have started vision boarding since 2023 and none of the plans that I've had for myself ever worked out for me because it just wasn't wrong, and it wasn't because that I did it wrong, but to be honest, I believed vision boarding had a whole different aesthetic and meaning. I've always envisioned vision boarding as, just taking beautiful pictures from Pinterest, not really actually seeing if it's something that you want or not. I would just be like, oh, this year I'm going to grow very long hair, or this year I'm going to do this and that. But it wasn't necessarily what I wanted. Besides the fact, I just did it for the aesthetics. I was like, okay, fine, since this year we're going to do something different, and I would just take something really off the bat, like a house. I mean, how can I own a house when I don't even have my own money? So it was just really weird, and I would just pin every single picture and I would just sit down and I would always picture myself in that situation. I wasn't necessarily in the present. I always thought that, well, all you have to do is make the vision board and sit down and just watch it. And even if I do put work in it, I just put minimum to no efforts because, well, I thought it would just happen like magic. And just to clarify, it wasn't because I was up in my head. No, it's actually genuinely what I thought was happening, because even in other creators, they always do it like that. They would create their own vision boards and they would just sit down every day and just be like, well, we're going to do this block of work, that block of work, not necessarily telling you guys everything that needs to happen. Even if you watch an in-depth video of vision boarding, it will always come out the same way. Sit down. If you want, you can make a virtual one or you can make a physical one. Just go ahead, pick out some pictures from Pinterest. Maybe you want this year to be a YouTube creator, so just pick the one with 1 million subscribers, whatever, and then you would do it, and then they would just be like, constantly look at it, constantly put yourself in that picture. How can I put myself in a picture of a person holding a key to a house with the hands that not really isn't mine, because mine is always filled with henna or something entirely different, no acrylic nails whatsoever? How can I put myself in that situation? And how can I even encourage myself to do the work that I know that it's not going to work out for me? So that was two of the reasons. Actually, I've given you two reasons. The third most important reasons why I just gave up on it was just I was really, really depressed. I noticed that every single time, okay, every single year I do vision board, it's like a whole pressure on me. It's like someone's watching me, when in reality it's only me and my God. It's like someone is pressurized. You have to accomplish this goal before the end of the year, and it's not what I wanted, honestly. I mean, how can I put in my vision board traveling across the country when I have zero, like literally zero naira to my name? How is that possible? That's one of the most biggest reasons. I was constantly in depression. I just couldn't understand myself. If you guys could go ahead and watch my old videos, you would notice that it was like a rotational spell. Every single year I would start YouTube, like serious YouTube, in August. Like August, I would just start it. And then January, February, maybe March or April, I would stop and I would drop out of the face. Like I would drop out of the face of the earth for YouTube, of course. I would not post. You guys would just see me very silent. And then another August will come back and then I'll go back to the same drill. And it wasn't necessarily because it was something that I convinced myself to do. No, it was just that every single time I look at that vision board and I see, oh, I have to have 1 million followers, I have to start doing this and that, I just felt so degraded. I felt so disappointed in myself. So I was like, what's the whole point? So I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to stop whatever it is. And then I would just stop it. Maybe sometimes I would actually be so depressed by the end of the year when I see that none of the goals, not even one, has happened. As I said, with vision boarding, I always catch myself just daydreaming and thinking about the future, not necessarily doing the work. And during those periods, those 3 years of me doing vision boarding, I have constantly just talked about it non-stop. I would always tell my friends and my family, oh, this is my goal for this year, blah blah blah. And subconsciously, me talking about it, it felt like I've already done it. I was just so happy. I felt so, the dopamine hit was really hitting, guys. But then but then after that, I realized that this is really not happening at all. And what really made me question it is that I have been vision boarding for 3 years, since 2023, and all those years I've put a lot of things. I wanted to start my own business. I wanted to be an independent woman, get to actually have my own money and stuff like that. But guys, since 2023, I have been stuck. No movement whatsoever, guys. I just felt really stuck because nothing was happening to me. Before there was some kind of stream of income coming through or something like that, if that would make sense, from my aunties and family members. Every single time they would come or I would go to them, no matter what, they would actually give something in my hand, and I would always save that money to start a business or something really helpful for myself and my future. But then later on, I was like, it was actually silent. Actually, literally, I'm telling you guys, it was silent. No one was around. No one could actually help me have a startup for my business. So I was just stuck. That was the truth. And always, all the time, guys, no business started. I haven't actually become an independent woman, and my book has never worked out for me. Now, let me tell you guys something really, really important that actually made me wake up from this whole delusion of vision boarding. I believe that yes, most of you actually still believe in it. Maybe most of you, it even works out for you guys. But for those 10% of people who actually tried their best, have been trying to vision board for more than 5 years, more than 3 years, I would say, they would actually understand what I'm saying. Yes, I do believe that vision boarding has its own different meaning, and everyone has its own imagination, or should I say its own relevance to it. But honestly, guys, 3 years of vision boarding has let me down. I believed if I hadn't done it, maybe, just maybe, my life would be exactly how it is right now. In case if you guys haven't noticed, I believe I need to give you guys enough proof to see that actually vision boarding is BS, because I have been doing it for 3 years. I wanted to get contracted from Web Novel, and guys, I have been rejected more than once. I've written 5 total books in Web Novel, and all of them have been rejected. It actually started making me questioning my writing skills. I was like, am I really a good writer? Because how is it possible that all the books I've written have been rejected? And it would have been happening if I just made another vision board this year for 2026, but I didn't, because I refused to believe that that is what is going to happen. I decided once and for all that I'm going to cut up vision boarding from my life, and guys, it has worked marvelously. I'm going to tell you guys the skills, or should I say the ways that I did it, but first things first, I need you guys to actually see this. By November 2025, I did not do vision boarding. I decided that is not going to work out for me. I already know what I wanted, and I actually asked myself what I wanted. So December 20th, to be precise, I got contracted by Web Novel. No vision boarding whatsoever. I got contracted by Web Novel. And then after that, my business finally started, guys. It has officially started. It is going in motion as we're speaking right now. The business that would have happened 3 years ago, maybe would have even bloomed by now, it is starting now. Without a vision board, without anything whatsoever. Because what? That vision boarding is a scam. And the most important factor of this all is that I have never been happier in my life. Every time I look at that vision board, I felt scared, guys. Literally, I felt scared. I was like, what the heck am I doing with my time? How is it possible that I haven't done anything and it's already July? I was constantly pressurizing myself. But right now, because there's no such thing as a vision board, there's nothing for me to actually imagine. I already know what I want to achieve this year. I have it in my head. I know that it's going to come no matter what. I really don't mind. But the more that I'm seeing that picture, the more I felt pressured. Sorry guys. So I stopped. And honestly, guys, even if you guys cannot say it, I believe I have actually never glowed better because I was happy. I am happy. And I will always be happy because I have removed that thing from my life. Now, the most important factor when it comes to removing vision boarding in your life, I don't necessarily mean that you should stop making any goals. Make your own goals. Everyone has his own goals for the year. Maybe you want to just travel across the world. Maybe you want to take your school's life seriously. Whatever your goal may be, you can do it without vision boarding. I mean, before social media became something really big and important, did we necessarily believe the fact that vision boarding was the answer to everything? Did we even actually know of something called vision boarding? I believe the answer is no. Maybe some of you already did know about it before, social media and self-help YouTubers came out, but for those of you who actually didn't know, how were you able to ensure that all your goals happened the way you wanted it to go? So, the biggest, most important factor you need to do is be honest with yourself. Sit down, ask yourself questions. Okay, what do I want to achieve this year? No matter what you want to achieve this year, you need to ask yourself, is it something that you really want, or is it because of societal pressure that's why you want it? Because constantly I would see that I was really up in my head. I was like, well, I'm going to get married this last year. Actually, I was saying I was going to get married, I'm going to have my own car, blah blah blah. I literally, guys, I was just imagining. That was not even a goal, it was an imagination, because how the heck would I say I want to get married and have my car and be independent? You know what I mean? So you need to ask yourself, what I want, is it actually what I want to achieve this year, or because I see that many people want it, that is why I want it also? The moment you distinguish the reasons why you want something and actually ask yourself what you really want to achieve in your life, it would be so much easier, because there is no such thing as pressure, because it's something that you want and you believe that no matter how long time takes, you will still get it eventually, because it's meant to happen. I mean, you wouldn't think of it if it wasn't meant to happen. Imagine, like, reason with that. So after that, you need to structure, because you've done honesty. Now it's time for you to structure. And by structure, I don't mean sit down and then be like, I'm going to give this particular goal 3 months. No, what I mean by structure is, okay, so which one is the most important one, or should I say the most hardest one? Start with it. It doesn't matter how long it takes. You have 12 months. You're not in a countdown. Even if you're not done by the time the year ends, you still have next year. That's what I want people to understand. And that is why I stopped doing that vision board, because it felt like you have to finish by the end of whatever year you did your vision board. If by the end of the year you're not done, you will just feel hopeless. You will feel like you're not good enough in your life. So which is why you need to just sit down with yourself and just structure it. Okay, I need to start with this. This is the hardest. This is the most important one. We're going to start with it, and we don't care if it's going to take 5 months, 6 months, a whole year. As long as it happens, it's fine, because once the year ends and you actually see that, okay, yeah, I've achieved one thing, you will be so excited for the next year. Literally, guys, December got signed, contracted by Web Novel, and I never actually even imagined it. And at the same time, my business has actually started. That made me felt really happy for 2026, because what I know that as the year comes in, and right now I would proudly tell you guys that it is really looking up for me this year. I don't want to jinx it or anything, but I am really ecstatic about it. So after the structure, you just do the task one at a time. You know what you want in your head. You know this is what is going to happen. You know what's going to happen in the end game. You do not need a picture to remind you. You already have it in your head. Just do the task one at a time. And by the end of the year or by the end of the goal, you would see that it has already happened. No need for you to do visualization or whatever. Just have it in your head and trust that it will happen. Just go with the flow, and you guys will come back and tell me the real story of what happened. It is never too late to stop vision boarding. For those of you who want to actually stop it, we're still in February. We have a lot of months ahead of us. It is never too late to actually start. You can just go ahead and burn those vision boards if it's physical, and if it's visual, just go and delete it and actually start with honesty, structure, one at a time task. And I'm telling you guys, trust me, you will be actually glad that you gave up on vision boarding this year.